On my 80th birthday, I received a handwritten letter that shattered everything I thought I knew about my family. And in that moment, I realized, sometimes the people we trust most are the ones who betray us the deepest. Hi, my name is Margaret Hill. For most of my life, I believed I was just a quiet woman, content to live in the background. Kind wife, a mother, a grandmother, but one forgotten birthday. One painful truth changed everything. This is the story of how I discovered my strength at the age of 80 and how betrayal became the beginning of my greatest chapter. It was a Thursday morning. The calendar read May 4th, my 80th birthday. I was up early, the way older women are, sipping tea by the window, watching sunlight drip through the maple trees in my front yard. I didn't expect a big celebration. My son David had told me a week ago they were super busy with a work trip. My daughter-in-law Lisa had sent a short text the night before. Happy early birthday. Hope you enjoy your day. There were no flowers at the door, no calls, no surprise visits. Just silence. At noon, I cut myself a small slice of the lemon cake I'd baked the day before, my late husband Robert's favorite. I placed it on the good china, a small ritual to honor memory and time. As I raised the fork to my lips, the doorbell rang. Hope leaped in my chest. I opened the door to find a teenage delivery driver holding a thin envelope. No flowers, no balloons. Just a single envelope addressed in shaky handwriting. I opened it right there on the porch. Dear Margaret, you don't know me, but I was your husband's lawyer. Robert trusted you with everything. But he also feared what might happen after he was gone. If you're reading this, it means today is your 80th birthday and the conditions have been met. Inside this envelope is a key. Use it. What you find. We'll explain everything. Sincerely, Thomas Keene, attorney at law. My hands trembled. Inside was a small brass key, old, cold, and heavy in my palm. I knew exactly what the key was for. Robert's old office in the basement had a locked cabinet we never used after his passing. I'd left it untouched for years. Now I descended those stairs with new urgency. The key turned with a solid click. Inside, stacked neatly, were folders labeled, dated, organized in Robert's unmistakable handwriting. Bank statements, property titles, letters, and one envelope marked, "For Margaret, open on your 80th birthday." I opened it with trembling fingers. My dearest Margaret, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And today is your 80th birthday. Happy birthday, my love. I hope today brings you more than cake and memories. I hope it brings you clarity. I've watched David and Lisa over the years, and I worry. It's the way they handle money. It's the way they treat you, dismiss you, like you're fragile. I set up protections, but I never told you. Didn't want you to worry. But now, it's your time. Not just to know the truth, but to act on it. The safe contains all the documents. You own more than you think, and you are more powerful than they believe. With love, Robert. I sat there for over an hour, holding that letter, feeling the tears drip down my cheeks. The next day I called. The number Robert had left for his lawyer. The line still worked. Thomas Keene, now retired, answered from a quiet town in Vermont. He remembered Robert, remembered the private estate Robert had created in my name. And yes, he was still legally representing me. Robert was deliberate, he said. He wanted to make sure you had everything you needed when the time was right. Thomas connected me to a forensic accountant, a sharp, witty woman named Diane Bloom. In 2 weeks, she traced over $300,000 that had quietly vanished from accounts. My son David had access too. David had been siphoning money for years. Travel, private schools, cosmetic surgery, designer bags. All funded by reallocating from my accounts, money I hadn't even realized I had. And now, thanks to Robert, I had full legal control. Again, I invited David and Lisa over for tea that Sunday. Lisa arrived in heels and sunglasses, David in his business casual charm. They seemed relaxed, chatty, until Diane entered the room, followed by Thomas. "What is this?" David asked. laid out the documents slowly. This is everything you've taken. Every unauthorized transaction. Every lie. Lisa scoffed. You're confused, Mom. We were managing your finances to protect you. You don't understand investments. Diane slid a chart across the table. $23,000 on a luxury cruise. $11,000 on handbags. $47,000 on home renovations. All billed as Margaret's maintenance. Care to explain that? David stammered. Those were family needs. We were helping you. No, I said, my voice calm. You were helping yourselves. Thomas then revealed the kicker. The entire estate was never under their control. The money they stole was a fraction of what I now owned thanks to Robert's planning. David's face turned pale. Lisa's hands shook. I'm not pressing charges, I said. But the restitution agreement stands. Monthly payments, legal oversight, and full severance from my financial affairs. They left in silence. That summer, I took a trip to Edinburgh somewhere. Robert and I had always dreamed of going. I stood by the castle, key around my neck, wind in my silver hair, and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Freedom. Emily, my granddaughter, joined me for the last leg of the trip. She was studying archival history and had grown increasingly distant from her parents in recent years. I never liked how they treated you, Grandma, she said quietly. It always felt wrong. That fall, I donated a portion of my inheritance to start the Hill Foundation, supporting women over 65 who face financial abuse or isolation. Emily helped design the website. By the time I turned 81, I was giving guest lectures at local colleges about late life reinvention. At 82, I received a Community Leadership Award. Everywhere I went, I wore Robert's brass key. Not because I needed it anymore, but because it reminded me I had unlocked something much greater than a safe. I had unlocked myself. Today, I'm 85 years old. I write this from my study, walls lined with books, photos of Emily's newborn son smiling back at me. David and I speak occasionally. Our relationship is polite, distant. He knows better than to ask for anything more. Lisa moved to Florida. We haven't spoken in years, but Emily visits often. She brings flowers, stories, hope. Sometimes when I catch my reflection, see the woman I used to be, quiet, soft-spoken, cautious. I also see the woman I've become, strong, decisive, quietly fierce. To anyone listening who feels invisible, small or forgotten, I want you to know it's never too late. Not to protect yourself, not to reclaim your story, not to begin again. This story touched your heart. Please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with someone who might need to hear that resilience doesn't age. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in Margaret's shoes? Have you ever had to reclaim your power? Thank you for watching Real Moments. Till next time, stay strong, stay kind, and stay true to yourself.